Hello, 2025 A-level students. If you are a student who is going to sit for your exams in 2025, so this message is for you. It's not all about classes, it's about few tips that you have to follow as a student. Yeah, as we all know, advanced level examination is a competitive examination. The Sri Lankan advanced level is very competitive. All of us know it really well, and we need to understand the nature of this difference between the other exams and the advanced level, Sri Lankan advanced level examination, right? The first thing is the ordinary level. I think you have just finished your ordinary level, and when you compare your ordinary level and the advanced level, your A-level level, the very first thing is that you need to know, and if this is your difficulty level, you know it's the graph, right? And so here the difficulty level and the examinations, right? I'm not going to say your straight 5 because your exam is not something relevant, right? So then here, if this is your O levels, right? So there is a huge gap. There's a huge gap between the difficulty levels, between O levels and the A levels, that you need to recognize and you need to understand this really well, first of all, right? So then, in order to fulfill this gap, there are few things that you have to do as a student. The very first thing is you need to understand this thing. You need to understand the difficulty levels between the O levels and A levels, and accordingly you have to arrange your lifestyle. First of all, the very first 6 months will be crucial. If you are a physics student, physics students especially, not only for physics students, science students, for them the very first 6 months will be crucial. Why I'm saying something like that? Because this very first 6 months, in the very first 6 months, you need to get adapted to this advanced level examination. You need to recognize, you need to understand, or you need to prepare your mind for this examination, right? So which means the subject matters, and you need to pay your full attention. You have to pay your full attention on the subject, and you have to live with the subject in the very first 6 months, since it's a very important first 6 months, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. That's the very first thing that you need to know. If you are going to start your career from tomorrow onwards, if you are going to start this A-level examination task from tomorrow onwards to the next 6 months will be crucial, right? So you have to prepare your mind. So that's what I'm simply telling. Right. So after that, exam tips. Right. I posted a video. I uploaded a video on my YouTube recently. Right, about this technique that you can follow. That's called study recording method. It's a newly invented method that you can follow. Right. So I'm going to tell you few things regarding that method and a few things that you can do, because now modern world is not accepting your previous very old methods are not acceptable in this world any longer. So therefore I'm going to tell you a few things. The very first thing is this: if you think this A-level career as a cricket match, right? Let's consider it as a cricket match. If you consider this A-level career as a cricket match, you have to practice your basics really well. So basic shots. Now imagine a cricket player. His basic skills should be perfect in order to become a cricketer, first of all. So just like that here, day-to-day tasks are very important. So you need to attend to classes properly every day without missing any of them. Not only that, here, day-to-day, you have to revise the things that you learn. No excuses here, guys. So excuses are not accepted anymore in this world. So therefore you can't make any excuse. So therefore day-to-day works are just like day-to-day practices for a cricket player, day-to-day tasks, right? So what you do is, imagine now if you are having the physics class today, so today itself you guys have to revise, right? So things that you learn, so at least go over the note, just go through the note and read it and try to solve some problems related to the subject, related to the subject matters that you have learned on the day itself, right? So just like that. So then, after that, cricket players, sometimes imagine now, the cricket players practice, imagine the cricket player who is practicing a cover drive shot, right? When he is practicing the cover drive shot, even though he practices cover drive, after some time, when he is practicing a pull shot or hook shot, sometimes he might forget. So it is very unusual, but he might forget the cover drive that he learned earlier. So why is that, guys? Our brain tends to forget things because the brain capacity is just like a hard drive, right? So when there is something unnecessary, the brain gets rid of it and keep only the required things. So therefore, imagine, so even though you are doing day-to-day tasks, sometimes when you sit for your examination, for your term test or whatever it is, you might feel some sort of difficulty. Why is that? The thing is that even though you complete your day-to-day tasks, in the meantime, your previous subject, or previous parts of the subject also, previous aspects. So for example, imagine when you are doing waves, or 2024 students, they might be doing waves these days. If he or she is a guy who is doing waves at this particular moment, in the meantime, try to revise your previous topic. What is that? Mechanics. Try to revise mechanics in the meantime. How could you revise? Reading the lesson again and again? No. Just take out your cute and try to do questions. Not all the questions are done. Some selected questions as you feel, as you wish. Some selected questions try to do. Right? So now, at the same time, simultaneously, you're practicing the day-to-day tasks or day-to-day lessons that you learn, and in the meantime, mechanics. Right? So just like that, now day-to-day tasks. You are doing really well now. You are a good student. Not yet. The third and last and not least, the most important next thing that you need to know, guys. Imagine a cricket player, sometimes well-known cricket players are there, even though they are well-known, very good cricket players. When it comes to the match, they fail. Sometimes by the very first ball, even though they practice their basics really well sometimes, the first ball they face will be a golden duck sometimes. Why is that? So match condition, we have to accept failures, guys. So we are human, we can make mistakes, so the mistakes can happen by us. Right? So mistakes can be happened by us. So that's very usual. That's a very usual nature. Right? So therefore, in order to minimize these mistakes, you guys have to practice under the condition that you have to play the role or the game. What is that game? That's the exam condition. So therefore, guys, under this exam condition, you guys have to practice exam condition. How would you have this exam condition? That's my next question. Paper classes, right? So you can't underestimate paper classes. I see the paper classes. In a paper class, any teacher provides the exam condition, right? So during that time, during a given time, within sometimes 2 hours, within sometimes 1.5 hours, within 3 hours, you have to finish your paper. So this is the exam condition that I'm telling you. Right? So then as soon as you finish the paper, you need to recognize the mistakes that you have made. How can you do that? So just discuss it with your teacher. So whoever the teacher, right? So these techniques are the techniques that you have to follow as a physics student, not only physics, a science student, if you want to get a very good results. And quickly I should revise, quickly I should say, what is, the study recording method. I should say what it is, right? So study recording method, as I said earlier guys, this is a newly invented method. So this is a very upgraded method, unlike your previous method, summarization, and sometimes students use summarization, as I said, via my previous video, and they might sometimes use the short note technique. So sometimes they read the lesson over and over again in order to understand and keep those things, store everything properly in their minds. But sometimes those techniques are not upgraded method. Those are very old methods, right? So those are not ineffective. They are effective, but up to some extent their percentage is very low, right? So how can you increase this? The study recording method is a particular method that you can use here for 2025 students. So study recording not only 2025. So any of those students can use this technique. So what you do is you can create your own problems, set of your own problems in terms of any subject. It could be mechanics, it could be any other subject, or it could be something else, right? So in chemistry, some sort of subject, or some sort of topic, or in physics, where simple harmonic motion, whatever it is, you can create your own problems. Try to create your own problems and then try to answer. Sometimes your question might be wrong, it's not defined. Then if you can recognize whether it is wrong or not, so that is also a very big victory when it comes to you, right? So therefore, just need to recognize those things properly and create set of your own problems and try to answer by yourself. Or this is called the study recording method. That's which is very effective method. So globally now, so many medical students, so many engineering students, so many students are using this technique at this moment.